Welcome to Brand Builders TV. Deep dive topics, tools, and resources brought to you by global thought leaders from within the Brand Builders Club. This show gives you access to the strategies that you can use to move forward with ease and flow in every area of your life and business. In today's show, Dario is going to take you through a simple 3-part process in how to let go of overwhelm and boost your sales, all without running expensive advertising campaigns. Dario is an international speaker, a best-selling author, and serve and sell coach to the professionals. He discovered that many professionals, experts, and coaches struggle to get repeat business due to their mindset, their communication skills, and business strategies. So today's show is going to dig deeper and give you some instant ideas that you can put into practice straight away. Learn it, model it, and get shit done. Let's go.
Hi everybody, this is Dario Cucci here, the Salesman Shifter Coach and keynote speaker, and I'm looking forward to today presenting to you live here my TV show in regards to 3 steps on how you can actually close more sales without overwhelm. And hope you guys can see me all right here. And you welcome and feel free to leave a comment if you got questions or anything as I'm going through it. So one of the biggest things when it comes to selling your services in and growing your business, and one of the biggest mistakes that most people make when it comes to selling their services is they get in their heads all the time in what should I say, how should I say it, what should I do in regards to it, what will I say when an objection comes up, or what if you know what if the person hangs up on me without listening to what I have to say, or they're not actually really interested in what I do. um, and so the biggest thing that you can do when it comes to all of that is ultimately really shift your mindset's focus. And because anxiety ultimately comes from, you know, um, thinking about the future, what comes up when in the future. That is where anxiety comes from. You are projecting your own limiting beliefs into the future, and as a result of that, you get into that negative pattern of thinking that ultimately will fuel your anxiety, and your negative emotions come up. And that is how ultimately anxiety develops: is you have negative thoughts, you're projecting them, you're thinking about them, you're making it bigger as it is. So it's an illusion really that you're creating in your own mind, that ultimately creates that issue of what if I'm not good enough? What if people don't want to hear what I got to say? What if what I'm saying doesn't make sense to them, or they do not appreciate it, or what if they just are rude to me? Any of that stuff comes up that can create anxiety, because we all don't like to be rejected. We don't want to feel like people don't understand us. And therefore, that's the first big problem that we have when it comes to, selling our services, having that anxiety. So the first thing that I would suggest you do is focus on the present. Okay. I mean, there's nothing more important than the present in itself. Just to give you an example, before I came on here, um, I wanted to actually, present it from my computer, yet my computer had some sort of issue with Facebook, and for whatever reason, it didn't work. It didn't pick up the camera and the audio, and so I had to adapt and change over, and now on my laptop I'm actually presenting you the content. So I had to think about it in just a moment and be in the present. So the same thing comes to when you speak to a potential customer or existing customer. You need to focus on the present, not the past, not the future. You need to really just focus on them rather than focus on yourself, because focusing on yourself is very much selfish. Ultimately, it is all about me, 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 and it's not about that. It's about focus on the other person, how you can serve them. So that is the first tip. Now, here is one thing that you can do when you are in a negative state of mind, and you got a negative emotion coming up, and you're getting angst or fear or yeah, like all the negative emotions come up. You just don't know what to do, and instead of focusing on that, focus on something positive. Okay, so the easiest way to actually shift your mindset and shift your focus is to use your memories. Go back to a place where you had a confident, happy memory about something, and will use that to shift the focus. So, what I mean by that is if you're in a negative headspace, what you can do is calm yourself down. First of all, breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth to calm yourself down, and do that slowly and really center yourself and breathe into your stomach. And as you do that, you already just doing that will calm you down. And then close your eyes and focus on a memory. Focus on what's a memory, or what do I remember where I felt confident, for instance, where I felt happy and at ease when I presented. And I'm going back to a place where I just did that and I felt really, really good. And right now, just thinking about it, I'm fine. And this is the thing that you need to do. So to think about a memory that you have in your body, in your mind, where you go back to that and then focus on that. And the reason that's so important is, especially when you are speaking to a customer or potential customer, you don't want to come across anxious. You want to really focus on them. And one of the things that I've learned in my life is when you focus on the other person rather than on yourself, that anxiety actually disappears as well, because all of a sudden your focus is to serve the other person. Ask them questions that help you to build rapport, that help you to have a good conversation and be there for them. Give you an example. When I first started in my career in the self-development industry, and back when I was living in Australia, I my first job was when I got offered on commission based only to sell Tony Robbins's at training and coaching programs, such as his events like Unleash the Power Within, Date with Destiny. And I don't know if you already know that story or not, but I'm going to tell it anyway because it really relates to what I'm sharing today. Um, for literally every day for 2 weeks, I was on the phone, early in the morning from 9 a.m. until sometimes late at night, 8 p.m. Held so many conversations, and I received a lot of no, not interested, people that hang up, or people that were just, politely, um, asking if I can call back at another time, and then I called them, they wouldn't answer. And I had some good conversations along the way, don't get me wrong. And yet, even though I was trained in using and neurolinguistic programming in conversational style, for whatever reason, it just didn't work. And one of the reasons I believe that happened is because every time during the first 2 weeks, I literally didn't focus as much on them as I focused about me. What am I saying? Am I saying it right? How do I handle the objections? Or what would I say here? And because it was more me focused, I wasn't as authentic. And hi, Sally, great to see you. I wasn't as authentic, and that was one of the reasons why I believe I didn't close as many sales at the time. In fact, I didn't close any sales during the first 2 weeks. And so when I made up my mind on the day that I made the sale, the one thing that was different was, first of all, I was certain that I make a sale. So I had a complete different attitude. I was confident. Before I wasn't. I was unsure. I was insecure. I was just basically fearful of how to handle the objection at the time. And so obviously I wasn't as connected to the other person on the other end that I held a conversation with. And when I called up that lady that was interested in the Date with Destiny event, I actually was confident. I was confident. Absolutely, Sally. Absolutely. I was confident that I can actually help her and that the event would actually be of great value for her to go to. And during the conversation, I was always real. I was focused on her. I asked her questions about how going to this event would help her with her life, with her business, and why it's important to her and what she sees wanting to achieve attending the event. And so all those things I did during the conversation. And when I didn't know what to say, I said to her, you know what, I just started in this company, but let me ask my supervisor if you can reschedule if you cannot make it in 6 months. And I, put her on hold, went back to my supervisor and asked her, Sarah, can the customer reschedule if for whatever reason they cannot make the 6-day event? And she goes, yeah. So went back to the phone, said, yes, you can, and you get this, and you get that, and we give you a discount on this and that. And so at the end of all of it, I asked her that question, so are you ready now to go ahead and book yourself for Date with Destiny? And she was like, yes, let's do it. And she gave her credit card for $6,000 to make the purchase. And that was a huge weight lifted on my shoulders, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, I just made my first sale. I made my commission with my first sale. And from there on, believe it or not, I had that confidence. So whatever it is that you need to do to have that confidence, do it. And it only comes through practicing it. The thing is, you need to practice your own, finding your own happy place and being confident when holding those conversations, because it's not going to come from having a script template. It's not going to come from me telling you certain things. It will come, however, when you take what you learned today and throughout your entire career from other people, when you apply the content in a practical way, then you will eventually succeed. So my first tip to you is find your happy and your confident place before you pick up the phone to hold a conversation. Be authentically yourself and focus on your customer to serve them the best way possible in the way that you're presenting the solution that is your service. And now the second tip on how to let go of anxiety is, and to close more sales, is literally know your audience. Okay, know your audience inside and out. Know what they're struggling with. Know what the biggest obstacles are. Know where their mindset is and what they need help with the most. And when you're speaking to them, don't just pitch to them. Instead, build that rapport first and get them to open up to you, to have an open conversation to see how you can help them. Thank you. Great to hear, Sally. Thanks. I'm glad you enjoy the content. Feel free if you got any questions to ask me a question, and I will answer that more than happy to answer that. So the second thing that you need to do is, and this is a tip that I will give you, is get an A5 card. Okay, get an A5 card and have 5 to 7 bullet points, depending how you structure the conversational style. Just know the framework around it. So for me, the introduction, for instance, as a topic already includes for me to have that small talk to build rapport and all of that. But if you want to break it up into being the introduction, just you introducing yourself with your name, what the conversation will be about, then that's fine. But here is the thing. One is point one on the card you have as a framework, introduction with small talk. Step two, um, asking qualifying questions to find out the customer's problem. Step three, um, you know, basically building the dream or building the journey with the customer so they can visualize how you can help them, where it can get them. So building, describing the journey and how you help them. Step four, offering the solution now. So you specifically now tell them the solution, what it is that you're selling as a service or as a product that can help them get there. Step five, preempting the objections. So what you do is, instead of handling the objections at the end, which you might still need to do depending on the person you're speaking to, you're already pre-handling it in the conversation. So you might say things like, look, what I'm about to tell you with the offer, it might be not ideal for a time, but the reason is there is never a perfect time, you know. So if it's really important to you, you'll find a way to make it happen for you in your time and to get that consistency happening. The second thing that you might want to do in handling objection is the pricing. So look, for some people, what I'm about to offer, it is a lot of money. It's not going to be on the cheaper end with what I'm sharing with you as a solution. However, what it will do is my service will help you make more money as well. So therefore, it's you first invest money to make more money, because the knowledge and the application will be a lot easier for you when you have someone like myself in the corner where that mentors you on how to actually hold in an efficient way the conversation style, where it tells you how to use a framework in a more efficient way to overcome objections and close more sales, and also where you will save money on resources and tools and things like that, because I will tell you what is worth using and what's not worth using, and therefore will save you a lot of time, frustration, and money as well, because that's all part of my mentoring and coaching program that I'm offering you. And so if that sounds like something that you want an increase of, say 300% of sales increase, no matter if those are repeat sales or new sales, you want to have more clarity and feel confident in closing more sales, and you want structure, and you want improve your skill structure, and you want to improve your mindset, then what I'm offering you is a good service to have. And we can actually talk how you can get started, even if it needs to be on a payment plan. I do offer that. And so what I've just done now with this is I pre-handled an objection about time and money and why now. Because most entrepreneurs and business owners don't just struggle with mindset or structure or their skills. They also struggle with knowing what to use when. Meaning, if a person has a business and they're doing really well, but they don't have a CRM, then they get overwhelmed about which CRM should I use, how much should I pay for a CRM, what can I do with the CRM, and so on and so forth, just as an example. And because of that, they will never get that momentum of repeat sales because they're not using a CRM as a result of being overwhelmed. Therefore, it compromises the end results of them making money, closing more sales. And that in itself is an important part to actually learn as a business owner. How can I efficiently use administration tools to make more sales on the back end, not just on the front end? So those are kind of like the objection handling. The third objection might be something like, what if this doesn't work for me? Okay, so if you are selling anything, then you got social proof, especially if you are selling a service. So If that's the case, then my thing is here. I say, look, I got all those people in on my sales page on my website. You even see it on social media. You can Google my name if you like. There's a lot of positive testimonials, and I know I can help you. And that's not just me saying it, but I got a lot of other people that actually gave me testimonials that increased their sales. For example, I had one of my clients in the UK, a personal trainer, who was very, he was busy, but he wasn't as busy as he wanted to be, and he didn't make as many sales as he wanted it to happen. And as a result, he ended up coming to me and saying, I need help. Now, when we first sat down, he literally had like 17 programs to train his clients on, to offer to them. And his average was like, out of 10 contacts, he maybe made one sale a month, if that. And I just sat down with him, and the first thing I did is I helped him change his beliefs around selling. The second we worked on was his structure of the programs that he would want to offer. So we simplified that. And the third thing is I taught him how to improve his communication skills to offer those programs that he had. So out of 17, we made 3 packages, 3 offers that he could actually tell people about it. And within that, I practiced with him how to actually communicate with prospects and even existing clients to sell those products and what to look out for. And I told him, use a CRM. So here again, this is important because then, out of applying himself that, improving his communication skills, improving his mindset, and now having a structure, he applied himself, and within a month, he, instead of getting one new client, he got in 3 weeks 3 new clients. So he literally tripled his revenue in 3 weeks' time, applying what he has learned from me being his coach and mentor. So that's a case study example, for instance. So, and then at the end, of course, the last step is once you pre-handle objection, you go and here is now the offer, and then you ask for the close. So this is, you say the offer, are they happy with the offer? Can they, would like to go ahead with it? They go yes, then you go last step, you confirm closing of the offer. Now, if they go no, not now, I need to think about it, you can, handle the objection. I don't do many objection handling anymore at the end because for me, if at the end you still need to think about it, you're not the right person to work with me, especially after me handling the objection twice or 3 times more after that. And if you still go, well, I need to think about it, it's about the money, and I go, well, we got a payment plan, and you still go, oh, I still need to think about it, I will give you the link to the offer, but I will only hold it for 24 hours from my end. And that's it. And if you're not going ahead, then the offer is invalid that I made at the time. So you can always come back, but it will be a different offer to the one that I gave you. Because for me, I reward people that are fast action takers. So if they have had a conversation with me, I told them what to do. I told them how they can improve. I gave them value. I gave them tips. And then I offered them the solution. They know what the solution is, then ultimately I expect them to make a fast decision. And so, yeah, that's basically because I want to work with people that really are action takers, that are really keen to apply themselves to what I'm teaching them to do. And so that's basically that's how you close a sale, knowing those steps. Now, if you got that card with those steps in front of you, whenever you're on the phone or even during a meeting, and for whatever reason you get distracted, then you can always look on the card and check on at which point am I right now. And if you're not seeing, you go, oh, well, I'm not actually using that, then it reminds you to go back to that point that you need to actually have to, control the conversation, guide the conversation in the direction that you want it to be. Now, the third thing that one can do to decrease anxiety to close more sales, the third simple step is this. Before you have anyone to be on the phone, it's actually good when they make a time to speak with you rather than just calling you out of the blue. I mean, it's always good to have people call you and then being interested. But if a person calls you and they go, "What's your price?" then I normally don't tell them, because what they do is window shopping. It's kind of like, I'm shopping for a cheap solution to get this service somewhere, if it's all about pricing. And then I say, look, I'm not going to give you that answer because it really depends on what solution is best for you. What we can do though is we can have, a discovery call, or, an initial sales breakthrough consultation, so that you and I can have a conversation to see where you're at. And if that's the case, let's make an appointment. So my third tip is really focus on, instead of getting caught up in, oh, I need to tell them the price and what if they don't like it and so on. Again, focus on serving your customer, asking them questions that qualify them, then that builds rapport with them, and then confirm an appointment. Okay, then say, okay, look, it sounds like I can be of real help to you. I can deliver value. How about we confirm right now a time for us to get together and have a conversation? Would that work? And then suggest a couple of times. Don't let the other person tell you when. Um, Guide them. So say to them, look, uh, I got time available tomorrow at 10 a.m. or at 6 p.m. Which of those two times are better for you? Then they go, oh, it's 10 a.m. Great, awesome. They might go, none of them, because until Friday I'm booked out. Then you go, okay, well, how about we do next week Friday at lunchtime or at 7 p.m. in the evening? The conversation only will go for like half an hour. Would that work for you? um, next Friday lunchtime or 7, they go lunchtime. So when you are asking qualifying questions like that, make it that it's not a yes or no answer, but it's like an answer that is, there is only a yes answer to it. Like you're assuming the yes. It's an alternate alternative answer in regards to how you make an appointment. So you're not asking, would that work for you? You assume it will work for them. And then what you do is you suggest two times and then let them decide which times. And if those times aren't good, then you can ask them, so what time would be suitable for you on that day? And if they tell you, well, this and this time, then you go, okay, let me quick check. Yes, I'm available. Or could you do it half an hour later? And that is how you make the appointment more stick, rather than asking, would you like to have a conversation? Then they could always back out and go, no. But if you go, well, let's have a conversation. Here are the times that I'm available. Which of those 2 or 3 times as suggested would work for you? Then you are much more driving the conversation, and you're much more clear how you can help them, and therefore they are more confident in wanting to speak with you than if you are come across unsure over the phone or on a meeting, because you're literally always asking questions that are yes or no answers. All right. So those are the 3 things that I would recommend you do. Now, if you have any questions whatsoever, and you want to get in touch with me, I am offering to people a 15-minute phone consultation where I give you valuable insight and tips on how you can improve your sales strategy. Feel free to reach out and book in your time with me at dariocucci.net. And I look forward next time, hopefully, to see you again on the Brand Builders TV. And if there's any questions you have, feel free to leave a comment and I will answer them shortly for you. Bye for now.
I hope that you've enjoyed the show today as much as we've enjoyed making it for you. If you've got anything out of this episode, please do tell someone else how they can subscribe to the Brand Builders TV channel at youtube.com/brandbuilderstv. Why not join us at our next Brand Builders Thinkubator, a global mastermind that we run every week to take away the loneliness of being in business on your own. For more information and to book your place, visit light.brandbuilders.club/Thinkubator. That's light.brandbuilders.club/Thinkubator. Until next time, be the ripple that you wish to see in the world, and we'll see you soon.